Hi, I'm Annalisa Maria, and I am going to show you my September playlist today. I've been doing these album of the month videos where I pick an album I really enjoy that I feel like doesn't get talked about enough, and I kind of like review it / kind of just rave about it and tell you why I think you should listen to it. But I decided I'm not going to do that today. Today, we're going to do something a bit different, which is I have a whole playlist for you, and this is definitely because I couldn't just choose one album and I just wanted to do a bunch of songs. Yes, it's definitely because of that. Okay, so the first song is called Is There a Place I Can Go by the band Trudy and the Romance. This is a new song for me. It's one I found super recently. I think I just found it on like my station or something. It's kind of a bit like, reminds me of the band Gutter Girl, or also kind of Jerry Paper, almost like a little combo between the two. Yeah, but there's nothing super crazy, like, unique necessarily about this song. I just thought what it does really well, and I've been enjoying listening to it. The next song on this playlist is Not Always Happy by the band Petite League. This is also a new song for me. I just found this one, and okay, let's see, it kind of reminds me of like Current Joys, I guess. I like to try and give you like another band it reminds me of, but it's kind of like, I don't know, just lo-fi alternative. Maybe there's a better descriptor for it. My cat is going crazy. You want mummies, don't you? But oh, it kind of reminds me of like Current Joys and Surf Curse, a little bit of a cross between the two. I don't know, but I don't know, it's just a little bit emo. It's a little bit like I can imagine myself in a montage in a film to this song. So if you need a little bit of those vibes, listen to this song. Okay, the next song is also a new song for me. I put all of the new songs, I think, at the beginning of this playlist. And the next song is called Being in Love by the band Wet Leg. And I really want to listen to more of Wet Leg because they seem like a pretty good band from what I can tell, and I'm always looking for more like harder girl punk or alternative rock that's like female lead, because that's surprisingly hard to come by. Well, it's surprisingly hard to come by good stuff like that. But I really like the song Being in Love by Wet Leg. It has it's just got such a catchy melody and gets stuck in my head all the time. And then like all of the instrumentals just kick in at the right times, and it just feels like a song you can get pumped up to, you know? A lot of these songs are really good driving songs. I drive like 30 minutes for work every day, so if you... My cat! He's biting me! Sorry about that. Anyways, what I was saying is just that a lot of these are good driving songs, so listen to this playlist if you need some good driving music. Okay, the next song on this playlist is Thrashville 2 out of 3 by Prince Daddy and the Hyena. This is not a new song for me. I really like Prince Daddy and the Hyena. They're pretty like, I guess they're like, they're not really Midwest emo, but I want to call them that for some reason. They're more just like grunge emo. I recently found this website, well, I didn't find it, Isaac told me about it, but I recently went on this website called Every Noise, which a lot of you might already know about, and it's like has all of these different genres on there, and you can go click through and like listen to a bunch of random music and stuff, and they had a bunch of really good descriptors for these genres where I was like, I wonder what this genre is, and then I would play it and it would be like a bunch of my favorite songs, and I'd be like, wow, good to know that this is what this genre is called. So I don't exactly know. Let's see what Google says. Okay, Wikipedia rather classifies Prince Daddy and the Hyena as punk rock, pop punk, power pop, post-hardcore, and emo. So yeah, I would say they're kind of just like, I'd say post-hardcore emo punk. That's what I would call them. Anyway, Thrashville 2 out of 3 just has this sort of like grip on me. Like, I don't really know what to say. It just does. Speaking of songs that have a grip on me, this next song, it's called The Ropes by Yucky Duster, and something about this song is so addicting to listen to. It's like, anyway, it's like one of those songs that like gets up inside of you and like makes you feel like this is very important. I feel this is important. Also, I find the lyrics of that song quite interesting. I think it's a pretty good piece. I have no idea really what to call the genre for that song, other than like alternative indie, I guess. But just listen to it. You'll get what I mean. You'll see why it's so addicting. The next song on our playlist is a classic. This one has been around for a while. Reptilia by The Strokes. So I'm a very big Strokes person. Like, they're one of my favorite bands ever, and I found them when I was really young, and they're kind of like one of the bands that was like shaped my taste in music, you know what I'm saying? And to this day, they're one of the bands with like the least misses ever. Like, I don't know their discography inside and out. I have listened to their entire discography inside and out, as well as the discography of Albert Hammond Jr., the frontman of the band, but I don't remember all the songs off the top of my head inside and out. But from the top of my head, so with that disclaimer, from the top of my head, I can't think of a single bad Strokes song. Like, there's a few that I can think of that are a little bit like repetitive or like not as interesting, but they really don't miss. They really do not miss. And Reptilia is just a straight banger. It's just like, you need a banger, listen to Reptilia. The lyrics, again, on this song are insane. Like, please listen to the lyrics. He knows something, Albert Hammond Jr., he's gotta know something. A lot of my favorite musicians, I'm like, you know something about the true nature of this universe, don't you? Or at least you've caught on to more than most people, and I appreciate that. But yeah, wearing a jacket made of meat, sealing a letter made with horse's feet, go vegan. No, I'm just kidding. I have no idea whether or not the guy from The Strokes is vegan or not. Probably not. But he should be, because he's making it sound like it. Anyway, listen to it. The next song on this playlist is another like classic. I don't know like how, I mean, I'm sure it's fairly well known because it's Car Seat Headrest, but I don't know how cult classic this specific song is, but it's from a pretty old album, Something Soon, by Car Seat Headrest from Teens of Style, which me and Rapboy were going to like make a whole review of Teens of Style using our vinyl, because we just picked up a bunch of vinyl out of our storage that we had to like stick in there for a while when we were moving. And then it was like super warped, and it literally just depressed us so much, and it made me cry. So anyways, the album Teens of Style, very, very good album. Something Soon, Will Toledo's really good at this, but it's just one of those really like raw, real songs where it's like, this feels like it's a very like literally about something very specific that actually happened, and like you can't capture that kind of like genuine emotion and specificity without it having been the case. I mean, I have no idea whether or not that's actually true, but I will say that's what it feels like, and Will Toledo, Car Seat Headrest is really, really good at making songs that feel like that in general. But yeah, just sort of an anthem, blast it, you know the vibe. Switching the vibe up a little bit, the next song on my playlist is Synth Song by The Symposium. The Symposium is another band that I have loved for a really, really long time. They have a frighteningly small discography for how long they've been around. I'm like, why haven't you made more albums? But they're just really good. I mean, I guess I would call them kind of like dream rock, sort of. Like, they're very like synth heavy and like spacey, you know what I'm saying? I mean, literally the song is called Synth Song, but like all of their music is pretty synth heavy. It's from their self-titled album The Symposium, which is one of their best albums. They have another really good album, I believe it's called Drugs. I might have to do a video on that album someday, but anyway, all their music is kind of very much like in the same type of genre, but they're really good at what they do, and again, they just kind of like get in your head. This album and their other albums that this band I listened to a lot, like freshman, sophomore, junior year of high school, so they hold a special place in my heart, and it's just really good music. Okay, the next song on the playlist is Hungry for Death by Pup from their new album, Who Will Look After the Dogs. So I'm not super familiar with this album. I haven't really given it a good front to back listen yet. I'm sorry, Pup. I don't know who I am anymore. I don't know what's going on with me. But I heard this song and it's pretty unique. I really like what they did with it. Stefan Babcock never fails to be so edgy, so woe is me, so angsty, and yet do it so perfectly. I can't complain when it's him. And what he does with this song, it's got this almost like kind of retro, you know, like 50s feel a little bit of like 50s pop rock sort of, but then obviously it goes into like all that heavy guitar and drums and classic pop stuff at some point. So yeah, it kind of reminds me of Four Chords from which album was that? Unraveling a Puppet Band? I think that's the album it's from. But just, I don't know, they do a kind of similar thing with like the framework of the song. Starting kind of simple and slow and then bringing in that heaviness like right when it hits, and it works really well. I am a pop fanatic, so I may be biased, but they're insanely good at what they do. Like every single member of that band is like one of the best players of their instrument. I feel like that almost exists. Moving on, we have a song by The Frights. I put You Are Going to Hate This on here. This is another anyway, this is a super classic album for me. This is, I guess, another band, and this album specifically that I listened to like 5 million times when I was younger, and like even before I moved to the state I'm in. Like we used to road trip up here and I would listen to this album on the coast looking at the roads go by. So again, very special album. And also it was this is one of my like gateway albums into more like harder punk and alternative rock music, because I was kind of like a pussy about that low-key when I was like really little. I was like, there's no melody, I can't do it. But then I heard some actual like good music in that genre, namely the album Drive North by Swimmers, which breaks my heart because there's a bunch of controversy and stuff with Swimmers nowadays. Well, a while ago, I think it was like 2019, 2020, when it all came out. But like I literally kind of like ghosted the band after that, and I don't really know like if they're like forgiven now or anything, so I haven't really ever returned. But it literally broke my heart because they were like my favorite band ever, and I went to see them live. And then it turned out that the drummer, who was one of the kids of Billy Joe Armstrong from Green Day, was like a total groomer and creep and stuff. So classic LA punk pop moment. Anyway, that was one of the albums, but the other album that really like turned me onto this genre of music was the album You Are Going to Hate This by The Frights. It's just a good album. It really, really encapsulates the kind of like reckless, edgy, young, but like, I'm young, but I'm getting too old to be a kid, but I'm still immature and I'm gonna do stupid shit. It's just, yeah, it has all those vibes, and the main riff of the song is very, very catchy. I always get it stuck in my head, and I'm like, and whenever I do that, everyone always thinks I'm singing, People Are Gonna Hate Me. I forget which one it is. Na 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 or something. There's an MCR song that has like, I guess the vocal part of that sounds really similar to when I like impersonate the riff. Anyways, that's kind of off topic, but it's just one of the best songs on the album. It's that song the album is titled off of, and it's a good vibe for late September, you know? Break loose, be free, be wild. Getting to the end of the playlist here, we only have 4 more songs. The next one is Growing/Dying by the Backseat Lovers. The Backseat Lovers, I kind of have a little bit of like a complicated relationship with. I'm just kidding, it's not that big of a deal, but I just think some of their music is like really, really good, and some of their music is kind of like, but, you know, I could say the same thing about the Frights technically. Like, they have an album or two where I'm kind of like, but anyway, I'm less attached to the Backseat Lovers, so I'm more ready to criticize them, I guess. Anyways, the Backseat Lovers, they have some really good songs, and this is one of them. Growing/Dying is an amazing song. It's like enchanting, it's haunting in a way, it's relatable, and it's also just really unique, you know? Very much, melodic indie rock, but it still gets you in the gut sometimes. The vocal cracks of the singer are at like just the right moments, and is like, ooh, for some reason that like felt satisfying to hear. It's one of those songs that I think is very satisfying. That's like a thing for me. Some songs are like, my ears are like they're like they've been serviced, like they needed this and now they've been serviced, you know what I'm saying? Okay, moving on. Next I have I Think You're Really Beautiful by Starry Cat. This song I've been listening to for years and years and years and years. I've never really listened to much other Starry Cat stuff. I think it's mostly similar stuff, like super lo-fi bedroomy type music, lo-fi bedroom emo, I don't know. But I Think You're Really Beautiful, it's an enchanting song. There's something about it that's very nostalgic, and that might just be because I used to listen to it a lot when I was younger, like a lot of this music. I mean, I still listen to this music, obviously, but I have like specific memory. I'm sorry, you guys, I literally just saw an ant crawl across my phone screen, and at first I thought it was like a giant bug on my ceiling. Does that make any sense? I am so sorry, I literally went insane. Anyways, this song is very nostalgic for me, and it might just be because I have specific memories associated with it, but I do think that's kind of the overall vibe it elicits for anyone. You know, it's a little bit bittersweet, and just very sentimental. You know what I mean? Okay, next song on here is Nausea by Jeff Rosenstock. Jeff Rosenstock, I found a couple years ago at this point. I honestly can't believe I didn't find him earlier because he's like so right up my alley. Like, he even has like collaborations with Pup, I'm pretty sure, and maybe even Fiddler or something like that. Don't quote me on the second one. But Jeff Rosenstock is just great. He's just great. Let's see, what genre is Jeff Rosenstock? Let's see what Google says. Google or Wikipedia says he is punk rock, indie rock, pop punk, ska punk, power pop. So again, kind of similar to Prince Daddy and the Hyena, but he reminds me more of Pup and that kind of stuff. He does so much, like obviously you can see ska punk is on here. He does a pretty good variety of different sounds, and a lot of his songs are really unique kind of for their genre, and I do think Nausea is one of them. It's got such an interesting cadence, like the way he sings the lyrics are like, I don't know, I've just never heard that before. And then on top of that, so it's like a really catchy song, and on top of that, like some of the lyrics are so funny. Like there's like a literally lyric where he's like, switching between porn and RoboCop. And it's just fire. And then of course, you know, you've got the gang vocals in there. It's like very like anthem-y. It's one of those songs that's cathartic. It's cathartic. Final song, folks. We've made it to the very end of the playlist, and this is Take Care by Beach House. Beach House, I feel like, has gotten their fair share of fame, which I am happy about. Back in like literally like 2015, I was like a small ass little child and I was listening to them. I like remember like before my abuelita even died, I would be like going to therapy and waiting for my brother to get out and listening to Space Song. But they've kind of blown up more, which is good for them, I guess, but I'm like one of those people that feels like uncontrollably bitter, like I liked them before TikTok found them or whatever. And I know that, you know, they've been more popular in the indie scene for a while. I think that just as a little kid, I didn't really know that there was that scene, so I kind of like thought I was special for liking them. But anyways, they are still one of my favorites. Like, they have a very specific sound, but they just do what they do so well. Very much dream pop, kind of like psychedelic, again synth heavy, but not all the time. Just like haunting, beautiful melodies and airiness. This spaciness, obviously their most famous song, I assume, is Space Song. But this is off of Teen Dream, which is one of my favorite albums by them. And again, it's a little bit of an anthem, but in a very different way. And I just thought it fits September really well, kind of like this mid-September moment we're having. And it seemed like a good song to end the playlist off on, you know? A little bit more of like a airy, whimsical vibe. I don't know. It's a bit dramatic, but it really hits hard for me, at least. That is the whole playlist. I've told you about all of the songs in my playlist now, and hopefully if I did this right, you've been listening to little snippets of the playlist, even though that means that I'm gonna get copyrighted. I don't care because I don't make money off of this. So enjoy the samples that I hopefully was able to give you. I hope that you enjoyed this kind of different style video than like the album videos I've been doing. I just felt like I wanted to do it, and it seemed like something that people might be able to get a lot out of, you know? Because even if you don't like, 10 of the songs in there, maybe you like 4 of them, maybe you like 2 of them, maybe you like 1 of the songs. I don't know. Did you already know any of the songs I recommended in my September playlist? If so, please tell me. And if you have any recommendations for me, I also would really, really, really love to know. So that is about everything I have for you today. This is a quick reminder that I just opened a Ko-Fi. I do art, and I'm hoping to put stickers on there soon. I have commissions open right now, but anything helps. I am trying to kind of make it on my own here, and it's really hard in this day and age, so I'd really appreciate it if you'd at least check it out and maybe give it a share. But that is going to be everything for today. Please stick around and subscribe, and I will really, really love to see you next time. Let me know if there's anything specific you want to see, and thank you so much. Goodbye!